Now, Ghana faces ban from all international football competitions unless a case seeking to liquidate the Ghana Football Association is withdrawn from the High Court handling the matter. FIFA has already issued its ultimatum to the government of Ghana. Now, the ban would take effect next month. Would affect next month's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Kenya if the Attorney General does not discontinue its action of seeking to dissolve the GFA. Football in the country came to a halt in June after government applied to an Accra High Court to dissolve the local football governing body, claiming the entire football structure was engaged in corruption following an investigation by Anas Arimia Anas. In the studio to discuss this with me is Joy Sports editor Nathaniel Atto, as well as Gary Smith, who is your usual sportsman here on the Post. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
I like that description, and his figure also goes to confirm that he's a sportsman.
Oh yeah, okay. So I haven't had the opportunity to congratulate Gary, by the way. Gary, congratulations. May I show this to the camera? Congratulations to Gary. Nathaniel, you're already in the system, so I'm sure you have some.
It was a beautiful ceremony. It was a beautiful ceremony.
I'll leave it there. Let's find out what are the options available to Ghana. Nathaniel, you want to start?
All right. So it's just one of two things. It's either we stick to our guns and say we want to go ahead and liquidate the FA and do things our way, or we strike a compromise as early as possible. And I use early as possible very, very carefully, because you've said it in your introduction already that we have an Africa Cup of Nations assignment coming up. Yes, we have a two-man committee who are putting things together as regards doing the correspondence and everything. But you see, running the national teams goes a little shade beyond just, doing the surface work. There's a lot of work that's required, and we need the full structures put in place so that we can move ahead. So it's just one of two things. We either say that, okay, we want to go ahead and do what we want to do as regards dissolving the FA. And you see, over there are very, very thick legal issues as well. It's not going to be that easy, because if you speak to your lawyer friends, they will tell you that the FA had options. They could have had certain arrangements made such that the executive committee would say, okay, we are putting together. Yes, there are several options. When you talk to your lawyer friends, they'll tell you. You see, so it wouldn't be as straight as it is, because if it were that straight, by now I'm sure that the government would have gone ahead and liquidated the
let me find out from Gary.
The message came in from FIFA.
Let me find out from Gary what you think government is likely to do. It looks like an either-or situation. It's either you go here or you go there. What are we likely to do?
First of all, we shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Sure. We
shouldn't have been here in the first place. And anybody who really understands the issues is going to tell you, Gov't, that yes, the move to halt football activities was fine, but like Neil Antivan said this morning, they've taken too long.
Okay.
In that they could simply have taken other routes, such as decide to liquidate the Ghana Football Association, right? They could have done that. Reapply to FIFA in a new name. So, for example, Nigeria used to be called the Nigeria Football Association. After they were banned, they reapplied, and now they are called the Nigerian Football Federation.
Okay.
What they did in that period was that they allowed themselves to be banned. They fixed their football in their way, and then they reapplied, because don't forget that FIFA is an association. They can decide to take you out or keep you in. It's for them. It's not for us.
Right.
Right. So what the government of Ghana has always wanted to do since the airing of the Anas video is to have its cake and eat it, which is to say they don't want to be banned, but they don't want football activities to go on with the same people that were
based on what has happened.
Yes, based on what has happened. So now they could have done it quickly, and there were several ways to do that, as Nathaniel intimated. They could have said to the football structures, we are going to supervise you, and written to FIFA and said that help us to supervise the existing structure to reform itself.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
I get it. But how easy will that option be?
No, once you see, and from the very beginning, they had a very good rapport with FIFA. So if they had told FIFA that, look, FIFA, you have seen the evidence of the corruption, and we want you to help us to reform. So come down, speak to your people, which is the GFA, that we want to do so and so and so. The GFA will listen, but once the government speaks on its own, they will never listen.
They'll never listen.
And that's what they've been doing from the get-go. They've been sabotaging everything.
Exactly, and that's a big problem with FIFA because, Nathaniel, what moral rights does FIFA have in this case after this same organization has suspended this guy who was at the helm of affairs at the GFA?
Okay, so this is it. Who is the problem?
That's the question.
Who is the problem?
Is it an individual or the FA itself?
Okay, yes. So that's the question. That's the question you need to ask yourself.
How do we answer that question? Because it appears, from what we have seen.
So from what we have seen,
the entire institution was a problem.
No, hold on. there are blocks within the bodies of the institution that are problematic.
Okay.
So you borrow that little line from the good book that says that if your child. Your right hand is whatever, you cut it off or whatever
Next
it is.
time, know the story before you use
it. Yes. but at least you know the idea. Listen, so the Referees Association, there's a very big rot there. It doesn't mean that we're scrapping the Referees Association totally. And these are some of the arguments that have been put up by some of the executive committee members. They're saying, listen, you captured people on video taking bribes. Do you see all of us taking bribes? All 20-something members of the executive committee taking bribes?
Okay.
So the regular thing that is done within football circles is we fix our problems on our own. So there was another option as well. One of the things that Gary said, that government collaborates with the FA and they say to FIFA, for instance, the Ghana FA could have also said directly to FIFA that, okay, you know something, we are working. And you see, when you go into the ethics and you go into the books, you realize that there is a lot of collaboration because FIFA itself knows that you can't work alone without government's involvement. Therefore, there is a lot of cooperation and collaboration with governments.
Okay.
So the FA could have said, you know something, we realize that there are issues, blah, 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 blah. Therefore, we'd want to do this in collaboration with our government, who are a key stakeholder in the development process of the sport.
Nathaniel, we need to wrap up this conversation, but I'm just curious. There was an example right next door, Nigeria, for us to learn from how they went out and came back in. Why did we not learn from that?
I think that in even trying to solve the problem, we made a few
created.
So you set up a 5-member committee, named the members and everything, and we couldn't implement because we realized that we had made a very big mistake. And then we come back and say, okay, we revised it to 2 people with a spokesperson. They are going to run the affairs. So if they were getting good advice, if they were getting sound football-informed advice...
You think they weren't?
But for crying out loud, I mean,
obviously
not.
If
they had people, we wouldn't have even gotten to this stage of wanting to even liquidate the FA.
But I understand that the sports minister has been having meetings with the FIFA.
That is what we don't know, and that is what many of us suspect is not even true. So you see, FIFA's letter, and to sum it up in 15 minutes, the long English they wrote, the summary is that 1, we agree based on the evidence you have given us that there is corruption in your game in Ghana. 2, we came to Ghana, we have seen it ourselves. We have discussed with you.
We have even suspended the person who also worked with us.
So from the time we came until now, what
have you been doing?
Like, what's up? That's all.
Because they were expecting, you see, that 3-month period, I remember very well that Neil and Van der Poel said it here, that within the 3-month period, they were expecting us to put things in place.
Do something.
That's all FIFA is here.
Okay. So no time wasting. As far as FIFA is concerned, no time wasting. What are we likely to do finally? We run out of time.
I expect compromise. It's as simple as that.
Compromise.
Yes,
because we are afraid to be banned.
If you do a cost-benefit analysis, we have a lot to lose between now and the middle of next year.
If we don't compromise.
The banking sector has made the system very, very tense.
Right.
We're discussing it off air.
True.
If we go to the AFCON and the Black Stars perform well, and by some, we win the tournament, it is going to calm down.
And if we don't win, it's going to worsen the situation. Who would have been happy?
Let's go there at least. I mean, we have you see the New Jersey looks good. I mean, I'll order one for you.
Please do. Gentlemen, thank you so much. But this is not all. Gary is going to come back with sport on the pulse, but Nathaniel Atto here came all the way for us. Nathaniel, thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
He's Joy Sports editor. Gary here, the freshly married Gary, is here with sports right after this.